Hey, what's up users? This is John at Muse for You, here to help you build awesome websites without code. And in this video tutorial, I'm going to be showcasing the ultimate video widget found at museforyoushop.com. Now this is probably one of my favorite widgets that I've come out with just because of what it can do and the different options it has. So with this widget, you can do a full screen video, you can do a full width video, and you can do a custom size video. And here I have the different descriptions of each. With the full screen video, you can add a full screen video that fits the entire browser. The full width video, you can make your video 100% width and set the height for your video, and it can make for an interesting banner at the top of your website or wherever you'd like to place the video on your website. Then we have a custom size video. You can set the custom width and height for your video. Great if you'd like to showcase multiple videos side by side, or if you just want to set the size for your video for whatever design purposes you have. And then I have an example of each. So here, if I click on full screen video, it has some sound in this video, but you can also mute the sound. And then we just have a video playing. This is the full screen video. And then if I click here to the next, we have the same video, but in the header section, and the video plays. Looks very good. And you can add an overlay color to your video. And then I'll go to the next section. And we have 3 videos side by side, and we can also change the X and Y position of the video. So here I have the same video 3 times using the custom size video widget. And then I've just changed the X position so that the video is kind of centered in a different place for each of these. So this one was the full width video that we've put at the top, and then this is the full screen video widget. Okay, so those are the 3 different widgets that come in the ultimate video widget, and here are the widget options. Here you can select the MP4 file, the WebM file, and the .ogg file. Now every time you upload a video, you do want each of these 3 files, and I've actually have a link here for you to be able to convert your files to these different formats. So I have it, if I click the link here, it's free online HTML5 video converter. So all you have to do is choose your file and then select WebM, OGG, or the different versions you want to convert your videos to. So you can use that to convert your video, and I'll show you these free stock videos that you can download videos from and then convert them and then add them to your Adobe Muse website. And then for select a poster image, I'll show you how to do this as well. You want to make your video full screen. Then you want to take an image of your video and use it as the poster image. Now the reason for this is because not all mobile devices support video. So when someone's looking at your website on a mobile device, rather than seeing just like a blank space, it'll be that image. So for devices that don't support video, you can have an image instead. And then for the poster type, you can say JPEG or PNG. JPEG works really well, but you can also use PNG. And then here you can enable a color overlay, and then select the color overlay. And then you can set the opacity for the overlay. It goes from 0 to 1. So 0.9 is a lot of opacity, 1 is completely covering the video, 0.1 is the lowest transparency, and yeah, you can just go in that scale and see what opacity you'd like for the overlay. Then we have enable mesh overlay. Now a mesh is kind of like a pattern that you can add over the video to just add kind of this nice effect so that you can put text over the video or just make it look really nice. And I'll cover this in detail in this video tutorial. And then we have select mesh overlay image. You can select an image, or you can use a base 64 code from patternify.com, and I have a link in the widget, so you can just click the link and it'll take you to patternify.com, and I'll go over that in this video tutorial. You can loop the video, you can mute the audio. Looping the video, it'll loop the video when it's on a live server. So if you're working with it and it doesn't loop right away, just upload it to your server or a live server, and your video will loop. Here you can set the volume if you want audio, or if your video has audio, you can set the volume from 0 to 1, and it just goes in that scale, like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. And then you can set the playback rate. You can make the video play back faster. So if you set this anything higher than 1, your video will play faster, and you can actually make it play really fast. Like if you set it to 100, your video will just play like in super speed or like just really fast. And then you can enable resizing. So let's say you do have the 100% width or the full width widget on your website, and you don't want it to respond to the browser for some reason. You can not have it respond to the browser. I don't see, maybe why you would do that, but the option is there in case you don't want it to resize, or if you're working with like a full screen video and you don't want it to resize. The option is there. I just decided to leave that option in there in case you didn't want it to resize to the browser window, or the browser width or window. Yep. And here's a link to patternify.com to make it really easy for you to add overlays. And because there's this base 64 code in here, it's super easy to just add the code into your Adobe Muse website, or to add the code here and have that overlay over your video. Okay, so this is the widget options for full screen video. We have we have full screen video, we have custom size video, and we have full width video. And as well, on this page, I have the links to the different free stock videos, and I have them here. There's Distill, and it has great videos. I'm actually, for this example, I'm going to use this website. We have Life of Vids and VidEasy. Let's try that again. Yeah, VidEasy.com. You can get stock photos here. We have Fancy Footage Club. It's closed, but they still have videos available for download, and there's some nice videos there. There's Mazwai, and there's some really cool videos here as well. There's free stock videos on Pexels videos. Pexels videos, and we also have Videvo, and we have Vimeo free HD stock footage. These are all good. My favorite one so far is Distill, because the file size and the videos are very small, and they're very easy to convert because they're small. It doesn't take a long time to convert them to the different formats. And I'll actually be using a video from this website here. So I actually have an example site. It's right here. So I'm using the full screen video widget, and I've added the video. And so let's see how this looks like in the browser. So I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and here's our video. And perfect. And this does have some audio to it, but I have the audio muted. And then I use the SVG Draw widget and the Animator widget for this effect here. And as we can see, it has a mesh to it, and I'll show you that in a second. But let's say we wanted sound to the video. We could just unclick Mute Audio, and then I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and that's kind of the audio for this video. It's just kind of like in a factory, I guess, and the boxes are moving. But I don't want the audio, so I'll leave that muted. And I do have the video looped, so once I upload it to a live server, the video will loop, and I'll show you that at the end of this video tutorial. And then here we do have a mesh, and so this is the code for that mesh. And I got this code from patternify.com. So if I click here in the widget, it takes me to patternify.com. And here, if I scroll down, we have a few different preset patterns. I actually use this one here, and it's just like 2 pixels or 2 blocks just filled in. And you can have a color pattern. You can set the color and make your own pattern. So like if I select like a green and I just fill this like so, like that, just kind of randomly making a pattern. So we have something like that. I just have a green pattern. So now I'll just copy this this base 64 code. It's right in here. You just click inside here, and then you hit Command C to copy, or right click and copy. And then I'll go back to the widget. I'll go to the widget options, and then I'll hit Command A to select all. I'll delete it, and then hit Command V to paste, and then hit Enter. So now I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and it has that pattern overlay to it. It doesn't look the best. We could even mess with the gradient. Because it is green, it might not look that great, but let's set the overlay color to white, and that looks a little bit better. It's a little lighter. The green's a little bit lighter because it has that pattern on it. But there's just unlimited possibilities with this. You can do so much with the overlay color and the mesh color to really make your video blend in well with your website. And if you have things on top of the video, you can, make it blend really well with the mesh and the color overlay. So now let me pick a different pattern overlay from patternify.com. I'm just going to select a preset. So like this is the preset I had. It's just this one down here. And I'll just copy this and I'll just paste it in here. So as you can see, it's very easy to just, test out different pattern overlays or different meshes on your video using the base64 code. So I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and that looks better. It's not I don't have any color to the mesh, and it's just kind of this nice overlay over the video. And we could even, set the opacity higher. Right now it's at 0.2, but if I set it to 0.9, it's a little bit higher. And yeah, it's too white now and you can barely see the video. But as you can see, that there's many options here for you to get the right fit or the right feel for the video on your website and how you want it kind of designed with the overlay and the mesh color. Okay, so those are those widget options. Again, I've already added the MP4 file, WebM, OGG, and I didn't do a poster image, but we'll do that. And you can add a mesh overlay image. If you did add a mesh overlay image, you just have to set the base64 code, just type in set to none. And this will make sure that the widget isn't looking for the base64 code, but will use the image. So if you went to patternify.com and instead of using the base64 code, you clicked on download PNG. So I've taken it from the downloads folder and I've placed it in this folder. Now, when you download the PNG, you do want to add the .png extension to it. For some reason, when you download it from patternify.com, it doesn't add the PNG, but you can just add it and it'll work as a PNG. That's why I like using the base64 code. It's just super easy to copy and paste. But let's say you did have a PNG pattern that's not in Patternify, you can add it as an image. So I'll go back to the widget. I'll click on Add File. And let me just go to that folder and I'll double click here and I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and we can see it has the image as the mesh there. All right, perfect. So that's how you add a color overlay and a mesh overlay to the video. So now what I'm going to do is start from the beginning. I'm going to download a video from the Distill website, actually the exact video we just saw, and I'm going to show you the entire process of how to download it, and then how to convert it, and then to add it to the widget. So I'll just go to WeDistill.com, or I can go to this page here and click on Distill. Okay, it brings me to this page, and I'm going to scroll down and click on View More Videos, and they have a really nice plan actually. I think if you subscribe, you get 10 free HD videos every 10 days, which is awesome. And it says curated HD video, free for your personal and commercial use, which is awesome, and for creatives. All right, so I'll scroll down here, I'll click on View More Videos, and I found that video on page 6 down here. So I'll just go to page 6, and they have just great videos. And here's the video that I used. So I'll just click this download link here, and we can see it has some audio. Now to save this video, I just right click, Save Video As, and then I'll save it in this folder here. I'll just click Save, and that's it. And it's downloading. It's 3.8 megabytes, which is fairly small for a video. There it is, Box Plant 720. And then I'll go back to my Muse for You shop here page, and I'll just click on this link here. It says website to convert your .mp4 video to .webm and .ogg. So if I click here, it brings us to this free online HTML5 video converter. I just want to convert it to WebM and OGG because we already have the MP4 file. So here I'll click Choose File, and I'll go to that example folder, and here's the video. So Box Plant 720, I'll double click, and then you can set the quality to like the highest quality or a smaller file size if you set the quality lower. I find that in the middle is fine and works really well for online video, but that's kind of your personal taste. If you want it to just be like the maximum quality, you can set it to the highest quality. So now I'll click upload and convert, and then we have this kind of cool uploading or converting graphic here. So we'll just wait. Okay, so once it's done, it says success. We successfully converted your video file into the formats you requested. And here are the formats. We have WebM and OGG. So I'll right click to save it. So I'll right click and then click save link as, and then I'll just click save. And we can see it has the .webm extension at the end. So I'll click save, and the same with the box plant 720. I'll right click, save link as, and it has the .ogg file extension, and I'll click save. Okay, very good. So we have our .ogg and our .webm file. .ogg is usually for Firefox, but it's just good to have it in there. And then .webm is just for web videos in general. All right, so now I'll go back to my Adobe Muse website. I'm actually going to open up a new website. So I'll double click on the new site right here, and I have the blank page. So now to add the widget, once you download the Ultimate Video widget, you just unzip the zip file and double click on the .mulib file, and it will install directly into your Adobe Muse website. And then you'll go to your library panel. If you don't see your library panel, you can just go to Window and click on Library, and I'll do it again to bring it back up. And now I'll scroll down to the Ultimate Video widget. I have it right here. It's actually 1.1 because I did add the mesh in the later update. So we have full screen video, full width video, and custom size video. So we're going to work with the full screen video first. So I'll click, hold, and drag and place onto my Adobe Muse website. And there it is. So now for a select MP4 file, I'll click add file, and then I'm in my example folder. And the way it works is that for each video file, you can only select that video file. So you can see here, I can only select .mp4 because I'm adding the file for the .mp4 video. So I'll just double click on .mp4, then WebM, I'll click add file, and here WebM, we can select that, and I can click open. And then we have the .ogg file, so I'll click add file, and I'll select the .ogg file here. So I'll click on it and click open. All right, perfect. Now for select poster image, I'm actually going to show you how to do this really quick. So I'm going to open up the video, and it's this video here of the box plant. And I'll start it at the beginning, and I have it opened in QuickTime. So to make the video full screen, I'm just going to select the screen button here. I'm working on a Mac, but for Windows, you just maximize the screen. And then on Mac, to take a picture of the screen, it's Command, Shift, and the number 3. So I've just taken a picture of the image, and it goes to my desktop. So I'm actually going to place it in my example folder. Okay, so I've placed the image in my example folder. So if I double click, there is the image of the video. Okay, so I'll just close this, and I'll close the video. And now I'm going to rename the image to, Muse for You, poster image for video. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to use this image as a JPEG. So I'm just going to add the .jpeg extension to it, and then click on Use JPEG. So now it's converted the image to a JPEG image. So I'll go back to my widget options, and for the select poster image, I'll click add file, and I'll select the image. So now we have this image as a poster image for this video. So on mobile devices or on devices that don't support video, you'll have an image so the user can at least see the image and not have it be some blank space on the website. And for the poster type, I set it to JPEG, so we can leave this at JPEG. And then if I want, I can enable a color overlay. So I'll click here on enable color overlay, and right now I have this color and the opacity at 0.2. So let's see how that looks. And we'll preview the website to make sure that the video is in there. And there's the video, perfect. And we have that kind of bluish opacity to it. Very nice. And so now I want to enable a mesh overlay, so I'll click enable mesh overlay. And I'm going to use a base 64 code, so I'll go to patternify.com, and I'll select this pattern here, and I'll just copy this base 64 code. And I'll go to the base 64 code, and here it says replace with base 64 data from patternify.com. So I'll just select it all and hit Command V to paste, and then hit enter. And I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and there I have that nice mesh over it. And I want the color overlay to be black for this example. So I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and perfect. We have that nice black overlay. with the mesh. So that looks good. The next thing I want to do is add the SVG draw widget and that PNG that I showed in the example video. So I'll just grab my SVG draw, and I have it right here, SVG draw widget 1.1. I'll place it in there. I've already created the SVG, so I'll just find that real quick. I have it right here. And the width and height of the SVG is 500 by 500. And I'll just align that in the center of the website. Perfect. And I'll move this up a little bit. And then I have the PNG for this this image. So I'll just drag the PNG in here. Again, it's the same size as the SVG, so we can have the SVG draw, and then the animator. I'm going to add the animator to the PNG so that it fades in after the SVG draws. So I'll grab the animator initial first. Okay, and then for the graphic style name, we'll leave it at animate1. So now I'll click on the PNG, and I just closed these windows over here. So I clicked on the PNG, and now I want to go to my graphic styles panel. If you don't see your graphic styles panel, you can just go to window and click on graphic styles to bring it up. And now I'll create a new graphic style by clicking this icon that looks like a piece of paper. So I'll click on it, and then here for the style name, I'll double click, and I'll just call this animate1, the same graphic style name that is in the animator widget. So now this animator widget is assigned to this image here that we've assigned the graphic style name animate1 to. So now I'll go to the widget options. I want it to fade in. So for the animation where it says select animation, I'll click on fade in. For the animation delay, I'm going to say 3000. I want the SVG draw to have 3 seconds to draw, and then I want the animation to kick in. After that, I want it to fade in. The animation duration, I'm going to set to 2 seconds, so I'll enter in 2000 because it's in milliseconds, and 1000 milliseconds equals 1 second. And I want it to start on start, and I don't want it to infinitely loop. So that's all set. So now I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser to see how it looks in the browser. And we have the SVG drawing there, and then we have the image fading in. So the other thing I want to do is fade out the SVG because the lines sometimes makes the image a little bit thicker by having the lines and the image on top of each other. So I'll go to my library panel, and I'll scroll down to the animator widget, and we'll do the animator additional because after the first one you want to add the additional animator. Yeah, the animator widget additional, and then here it has the graphic style name animate2. So I'll just bring down this PNG image, I'll click on the SVG draw widget, and then for graphic style names I'll create a new graphic styles, I'll double click, and I'll call this animate2. So now we've assigned that animator widget to the SVG draw widget. So I'll click on the options, and for this one I want it to fade out, so I'll click there, and then for the animation delay we'll do 3000 seconds as well, and we'll say 2000 seconds as well. So it's kind of an inverse effect where the PNG image is fading in and the SVG draw widget is fading out. So just they kind of cross over each other. So we have this really smooth transition. And then I don't want it to infinitely loop, and I want it to start the animation to start on start. Okay, so now I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and we have the SVG draw, and then we have the animator fade in, and then the SVG fades out in the background. So we're left with this really nice image and that really nice effect where we have that drawing and the image fades in afterwards. And then it looks really, really nice with the video playing as well. So that's it for recreating that website. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use the full width video and the custom size video. So I'm just going to go to my Adobe Muse website. I'm going to go to the plan view, and I'll right click and duplicate page, and right click and duplicate page, and I'll just rename these pages here: full width video and custom size video. Okay, and I'll double click in here, and I'll just delete all of this here. So now we just have a blank site, and I'll clear the graphic styles panel. So now I'll go to my library panel, and I'll scroll down to the ultimate video widget, and here I have the full width video. So I'll click, hold, and drag and place onto my Adobe Muse website. And I'll just close this here, and then here in the widget options we just do the same thing to add the video. So I'll just go in here and add all the video. Okay, so I've added all the video, and here adding a poster image is really helpful because when you add a poster image you can see kind of the size you're working with, and because we have the width of this widget set to kind of this size, we can see the image inside the container here in the widget. So if we were to drag out this widget like so, we can set the width for the video. So there's the video, and I'll just align it in the center. And if I go to File, Preview Page in Browser, there is our video. And in the widget options, you can set the height, and the video height is 500. So if I wanted to say, let's say 300 to make it kind of a header video, I can say that. And then in Adobe Muse, I can set it to 100% width by clicking the 100% width button right up here, and it'll set it to 100% width. And then I can just, shrink it down so we don't have that extra space at the bottom. And I'll put this at the top. Very good. And let's see how that looks. I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser. There's the video. And what's great about this widget as well is that you can move the Y position. So here in the widget options, we have X and Y position. I want to move the Y position. I want to, have more of the bottom of the video show. So I'll set this to like 80%. And then we have kind of the bottom of the video. And this is what's great about having the poster image as well. You can see how the video will look by looking at this poster image here. So I'll set it to 60, move it down a little bit. That looks good. Maybe let's do 45. Yeah, that's good. And then I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and we have that header video there. And then I can add some text over it. So I've selected the text tool, and I'll just drag out the text box, and I'll just type in header, and then I'll select the Lotto font, and then I'll set the color to white, and I'll make it, let's try 60. Yep, and that looks good, and I'll center it, and then I'll align that text box in the center, and I'll move it down a little bit, like right there. Okay, so now I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and there's the video, and we have that text there. We could also use the font smoother widget to smooth out the text, and I have it here. Yeah, right here. And yeah, I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and perfect. Okay, now I can add some overlay to the video. So I'll go to the widget options, and again, I'll make it black for the color overlay, and I'll add a mesh to it. So I'll go to patternify.com, and we'll use this mesh here, this kind of template here. Then I'll copy it, and I'll paste in that base64 code. Okay, and I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser. Oh, yeah, the other thing we have to do is click on Enable Overlay and Enable Mesh Overlay so that it adds the mesh. And again, we can see how it's going to look because of this poster image. So I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and perfect. We have that mesh, we have the text over it, and we have the video playing in the background. All right, looks good. So now I'll go to the custom size video. So I'll just delete this here again because we duplicated from that last page. So I'll go to my library panel. I'll go scroll down. I'll go to the custom size video. And here we can set the width and the height of the video. So I'm going to say 300 by, or let's say 250 by 250. Okay, and then I'll just make this widget here, the container. I'll set it to 250 by 250, and perfect. So now I'll add the video to this widget. So MP4 file, add file, WebM, OGG, and the poster image. Perfect, and that looks good. And we'll add an overlay a little bit later. So now I can just copy and paste this video, and let me align it to the center. Okay, and one more time. So we have those three videos there, and I'll put them closer together. Okay, so let's see how that looks. I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser. And I'm actually going to close all these windows because I think the browser is using up quite a bit of resources with all the videos playing. So I'll click on Preview Page in Browser, and we have the videos there. So one thing you can do with having different videos on the website is you can change the position of each of the videos. So in the X and Y position, let's say I wanted to change the X position. For the first one, we'll leave at 0. For the second one, we'll say 50, or no, yeah, we'll say 50. And then for the third one, we'll say 100. Okay, so I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and we change the X positions. So they each have a different X position, which just makes it interesting. It almost looks like the box is going into each of the videos, which is a really cool effect. So we watch it again. And it's just interesting. It can make for a fun visual effect on your website. Okay, so that's the custom size video. And again, you can enable an overlay, enable a mesh overlay, and I'll just copy from patternify.com. I'll copy this one here. You can do a color overlay as well. I'll go over that. They have a few color templates here. So we'll do this one, and I'll just go here and paste it in here and hit enter. And then I'll make the color overlay. We'll set it to white. So yeah, we can do the same for each of these. Set it to white. If you did want to, higher opacity, you could do that. So like I'll do 0.5 for this one, and I want to enable mesh overlay. And then for this one, I'll do like 0.9, and I'll click on enable overlay, and I want to enable mesh overlay, and then I'll just paste in that code in there as well. Yep, looks good. So I'll go to, and I want to make the overlay white as well. Yep. Okay, so now I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and we can see the different videos there. 0.9 kind of, can't really see the video that well, so I'll set it to like, 0.5, kind of the same as this middle one here. And actually, let's set it to 0.2 each of them. 0.2 looks really good. And then 0.2. And then I'll go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and there's the video. Kind of has that mesh over it, that color mesh, and we have the 3 different videos there. So the last thing I'm going to do is upload this to a live server so we can make sure that the video is looping. So I'm going to upload this to a live server. Okay, so I've uploaded the website to a live server. So I've placed it in museforyoushop.com/video test. I'll click enter. There's the video. We have the SVG drawing, and then it fades in, and then we'll wait for the video to loop. Yep. So as we can see, the video loops and it works really well. Okay, so now I'll go to the other pages. One is full width video.html. So there it is. There's the header. And it loops as well. And then we have custom size video.html. We have the videos playing there. Looks good. And then the videos loop. Very well. So again, they do have to be uploaded to a live server to see the video looping. But either way, when you're previewing, you can just preview the page and make sure that the video looks good as you're working on it. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video tutorial. To access this widget, you simply go to museforyoushop.com. You can click on the pop-up here, and here you can get access to all widgets and any new widgets I come out with for $39 a year. You can click here to subscribe, or if you'd like to use PayPal, you can click here and subscribe with PayPal. You can also purchase the widget individually by clicking here on the Ultimate Video widget. I'll click here, and here you can click Add to Cart to purchase individually, or again, you can click here to get access to all widgets and any new widgets I come out with for $39 a year. And here there's more of a description. Here are the widget options for each of the widgets, and here is the video converter and the free stock video websites. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video tutorial. Again, I do this to help you build awesome websites without code. If you like this video tutorial, you can subscribe below. Also, in the Show More section below are links to other resources and links to museforyoushop.com. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video tutorial.